Hey guys, welcome back to another tool review. Today I'll be showing you the Bernzomatic TS4000 torch. I bought this torch a month ago. I've been using it every day in my shop here. I wanted to use it myself before doing the video. This torch comes in very handy almost every day in the shop, and I'm going to show you why. And here's a close-up look of this torch. Here's the model number. Now I've put a link under the video to where you can go read all the specs about this torch. Now the torch feels quite heavy in my hand. It's actually made of metal, it's not plastic, so the construction feels quite good. And here's the end that screws into your tank. You can use this on propane or MAP gas. Currently though, I'm using this on my propane tank. Now there's some safety features on this torch. You can turn the red knob here to the right. It will lock the torch so you can't light it. You turn it to the left, it unlocks it. You can also just use it by pressing and holding. If you don't want to hold it, you just push in this button over here. It's going to keep the flame going for you. So what I'll do now is screw it into this tank. And as you'll see here, just with the push of a button, you get your flame. And here's a close-up view of this. And I find the heat coming out of here is a lot more intense than coming out of this torch over here. And I would imagine it's a lot hotter because it allows more air or oxygen to get to the flame. This one here sounds like a jet engine. This one here is a lot quieter and not as hot. And here's the old style torch. You do need a striker. And you can hear that it's not quite as intense. Now some people may prefer this torch for other applications. Now the main reason I got this torch in the shop is because I was tired of using this torch over here and always looking for my striker. They always seem to get lost in the shop, and I hate using matches to light up a propane torch. I figured with this I can take it anywhere with me, and it's so easy to light up with one push of the button. And listen to that flame. Now you're probably wondering, why do you need a propane torch in a small engine shop? Well, I'm going to show you a few applications where this torch comes in very handy in a small engine shop. It does come in handy when you want to add a bit of solder to some connectors. And what I like about this torch is I can heat up this part over here so that it gets hot enough so that I can just touch the connector with the solder and the solder melts on its own. This way here I don't have to overheat it too much back here so that it melts the plastic on the cable. Another area in the shop where the torch comes in very handy is to clean spark arresters from 2-cycle equipment. I've already cleaned this one. It comes from an FS38 steel grass trimmer. However, I will put it in my vise and heat it up just to show you how quickly it's going to turn red. And with this torch here, it turns red a lot quicker than with the older style torch. And that's a lot quicker than the older torch for sure. And if you want to heat the outer part here where the hex nut is, it's a lot easier with this torch as well. Another area in your shop where this torch will come in very handy is if you have rusted muffler bolts or nuts on chainsaws. Sometimes these nuts here get so rusted that when you go to remove them, they just break the stud. You can heat them up with the propane, however be careful that you don't melt the plastic parts on the chainsaw. If you do want it to heat up a lot quicker, you could use MAP gas with that torch. However, the most common area in my shop that I use this torch on almost a daily basis is when I replace starter rope. And the reason I would use a propane torch when replacing starter rope is just to melt the end of the rope so that it doesn't fray like this. And I'll just quickly show you how I do this. And make sure you wear gloves when you do this because it is quite hot. And when you have it pointy like this, it's a lot easier to get it inside the recoil assembly. And you may have seen me in some of my videos when I'm repairing recoils heat up a shank like this so that I can melt a hole here on the recoil rotor to make it easier to tighten up the spring in the recoil. And I'll just quickly show you how I do that. this new torch, it's easier to get the shank heated red hot. It just took forever with the old torch. And then I just melt a hole the size of the rope here. And I've pulled out some of the rope so that I wouldn't melt the rope. And that will come in very handy when you replace the rope and you need to tighten up the spring and the recoil. By having that hole here, it allows you to tighten up the spring without fraying the rope on the body of the recoil. The rope just gets inside there and doesn't touch anything else. And again, here's a quick view of the torch. It's model TS4000 by Bernzomatic. It's of good quality, it's a metal body, it's not plastic. It lights up very quickly, you don't need a striker. Again, it's got the lock button over here. The major advantage for me to have this torch in my shop is that I don't need to look for my striker each time I want to use the torch. It's quick, one push of a button and you've got your flame. The flame is a lot hotter than the other torch I just showed you. And apparently it's got a limited lifetime warranty. I'm not quite sure what that means when they say limited lifetime warranty, but I'll assume that it's a pretty good warranty. And again, I've been using it every day for a month. I've had no problems with it, and it saves me a lot of time in the shop here when I'm busy. And I think here in Canada I paid around $70 for this torch, but it's definitely a must-have. The first day I got this torch, I wondered how did I manage without it for all these years. So I'm sure if you get this torch, you're going to be extremely happy you have it. You're going to like the way it lights up and how quick it is. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to subscribe, and you can see me next time. Have a great day.